Ladies and gentlemen, we are locking in here on the Rec Room Sports here, and we have some player props for you today. We'll talk spreads and lines on your Saturday divisional playoff games, and we're going to make a quick run through the NCAA basketball at the end. But make sure you guys stay tuned here, and let's get it going. Welcome on in here. My name's Tanner Dawson of the Rec Room Sports Hub. This is Lock It In. Join with me, of course, it's my two co-hosts, it's Scott Combs and Mr. Alan Perales. What's up, guys?
I'm spotty at best right now, to be honest.
Hey, happy NFL Divisional Day start of it here.
I hear there's going to be a funeral in Detroit tonight, so I'm dressed for the
Be careful, Alan. Be careful.
Oh no.
Take command, as they say. Take command.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Here we go. I'm changing my bets all to Washington bets.
Oh man. All right. So last week we kind of went through each game. We kind of broke down some player props and had a good discussion there. But make sure you guys drop in what you guys want to see as well. We can dig into the player props and give you our best advice for you in the end there. But speaking of which, I gotta set my lineup still. Don't forget that. But yeah, let's dig into it. Let's just pop right into it, guys. The game of the day. Wait, before we do that.
Oh God, dude.
Oh, we're not ready yet.
He's got to get Florida State's music on.
Florida State. Jeez.
Kansas City Chiefs are heading in. No, they're not heading in. Houston, Texas are heading in to Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a cold day in Kansas City. I can tell you that much, guys. I don't know how long I'm going to wear these sunglasses today, but we'll see how long I get by. But we're talking right now, it's just mid-20s, but the wind gusts are supposed to be up to 30 miles an hour at times. Obviously, you can immediately think about Kansas City's past with the cold weather, aka the Miami game that you mentioned off air, Scott. We saw that last year not really being a factor for KC. I think Mahomes loves this kind of stuff, but we got to remember too, like CJ Stroud coming into this game too. He's not, cold weather isn't new for him at all. He played at the Ohio State. Like, let's be real. Like, you talk about cold weather. There you go. So I don't know about you guys from a weather perspective. Yes, I'm a little worried for maybe the kickers' standpoints, maybe some of the passing game, from airing it out. But I'm not too concerned between the two quarterbacks like I would be if let's just say Derek Carr was coming into Arrowhead in the cold and 30-mile-per-hour gust. I actually went to that game last time he was here. It did not go well for Derek Carr. We left at halftime because we laughed so hard. So, but guys, let's dig into it here for this game today. Oh, come on. Update. There it is. The line is still set at -8.5, and you got your over-under at 41.5. Your first half lines are 6.5 now for KC. That was 4.5. I know a few days ago. So that went up. Over-under in the first half is 20.5 here. Alan, I'll let you start us off, man. What are we looking at? What do we want to look at player props wise? Give me a couple guys, and we'll move on to Scott. So,
to give people a perspective, we have the same kind of weather front that usually comes through Oklahoma at the same time as it gets to the east part of Kansas and western part of Missouri, because of just how that front usually works. It's the wind starting to pick up here, which means it's about to start picking up in Kansas City. So it's going to get rough today. I actually do like Houston plus 6.5 in the first half because I think they're going to keep it close early. But I think Kansas City's going to pull away in that second half because it's what the Chiefs do. They sometimes they'll start out slow, or it's one of two things. They'll either start off hot but then finish kind of sloppy, or they'll start off kind of sloppy and then finish really hot. That's just kind of what Kansas City football has been.
Potential slow start, guys. KC hasn't played in the starters haven't played in 21, 24 days. So it's possible for a slow start here in the beginning.
I mean, get that much of a rest after playing 3 games in 10 days though. So I mean, it could be very helpful in
against
and that can throw off. That's like as somebody who's played the game before, maybe not that level, but when you have multiple games in certain days and then you get a long rest period, it messes with your psyche a lot. You got to be able to train your mind to be okay, got to stay focused, got to stay active, stay in shape, get ready for the game and whatnot. So,
Mahomes had a baby on Monday, so their child
could be a slow start for Kansas City. If Houston could take advantage of that, they have a real good shot. But I think I like the +6.5 in the first half, but I also like the -9.5 for the entirety of the game because I think Kansas City is going to turn it on.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Anything on the line here, Scott, for game lines right now?
I like the under 20.5 in the first half. I think it's just going to take Kansas City probably a quarter to a little bit more to get going here. When's week 17 was the last time Mahomes and that company played basically a game?
Christmas Day. Day.
So it's been pretty much almost a calendar month since they played in any type of meaningful football game. So I think they're going to start slow today. But I also think Houston's going to start slow today. So that under 20.5 looks really good to me. And if the winds pick up at all, like you guys are saying, I could see a lot of running in the first half.
Yeah,
by both teams. So
fun little fact here. That's a positive ROI, or not? Yeah, I guess positive ROI. Texans have covered the first half spread in 17 of their last 22 games.
Yeah, I could see very easily a 10-7 first half. And
the Chiefs have hit the first half game total over in 14 of the last 22 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different, though, with not playing for, 21, 22 days.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the Chiefs organization couldn't give Mahomes a little time off to enjoy his baby, but, I mean,
They did. They just came too late.
Hey, after this game, we can take another 4 days off. But, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of player props I absolutely love in this. Samaje Perine, over 10.5 receiving yards. That's basically one catch for Samaje Perine. He said it missed it in 3 games all year long. So I like that one a lot. And Noah Gray over 11.5 receiving yards. Love that one too.
Yes. That was a big one on the Buffoons, the Noah Gray one.
Yeah.
Look, Samaje, not player futures. Holy cow. Samaje, though, you got to remember too, that we got a healthy Pacheco and a healthy Hunt, right? So
yeah.
So his one lone catch he had in week 17, after Pacheco went out, was for a good chunk, right? So
right. I think he doesn't one. Yeah, he doesn't one catch. I think because his average has been 15 to 20 yards on one catch alone in a lot of these games. So he's the hurry up back. He's the passing downs back. But I don't think you're going to see Pacheco catching a lot of balls today. I don't think Kareem Hunt hasn't caught many balls at all this year. So
no, but also you really haven't had a healthy Pacheco
right
most of the year, right? And then he hurt his ribs the game he came back.
Right. And the other one I like, Kelsey, over 70 plus receiving yards at +205. He's done it in 13 straight playoff games. When Mahomes needs something in the playoffs, it's Kelsey he goes to.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I mean, let's break down Samaje real quick here, like you stated. He's hit it in the last 5 games for sure. He's actually hit the over of 9.5 now. Looks like the line changed, but 8.5 too. Even 8.5. If you can get 8.5 or even 9.5, he's hit it still 9 out of the last 10 games for his yards, and then his reception amount, which is 1.5. right now, receptions. He's hit that the last 6 out of 10, but he only hit it twice in the last since week 13. And that was Houston game where he had 3. In the Pittsburgh game, he had 2.
Right.
So he's going to be a guy reliable for Mahomes there in the passing game to get out of, but you're still gonna have to watch if he's going to go check down. It's probably to Pacheco in the end. Maybe Hunt at times, but most likely Pacheco. But when you see him in the game though, really keep an eye out because, like Scott said, that receiving yards are usually picked up with one big catch because usually it's for a first down. So he gets, the 10 yards, 11 yards that you need. Boom. There you go. Cashed money. I would lean more towards the receiving yards on the over than I would the receptions.
The other one is Pacheco was 5.5 receiving yards. So if he gets that jump off from Mahomes, he's going to get that 6 yards pretty easily, I think. So,
So Pacheco was one I kind of highlighted and I sent out to a few people that were betting at the time. They were talking to me. You got the 6.5 receiving yards there for Pacheco, which I like a lot too. When he was playing, so week 1 and 2, he already had the over in the Cincinnati game before he got hurt at late there. But he also hit it against Baltimore. He also hit it against Cleveland in week 15. But again, he got hurt in Houston as well. He got hurt and he didn't really play in Pittsburgh much, if at all, just with that nagging injury there. So he didn't hit it with Vegas. He didn't hit it with the Chargers either. So week 13 and on, he's only hit it once, but I like him coming back alive. He's been I don't want to say a rushed return, but he had kind of a nagging injury for a little bit. Then the ribs thing came. I like the receiving yards. I wouldn't mind taking it. Honestly, for me though, I lean towards the 1.5 receptions mark. Mm-hmm. Houston last time he only had 1 catch, Cleveland 1 catch, Vegas 1 catch, but he hit the over with 2 and the Chargers. But you were also not trying to push him back as quick either, right? Going into play. So exactly. I think I lean honestly more towards Pacheco with the receptions in this case here, because I think he is going to be a factor there. Because that D line for Texans, I mean, if they get going, they get going, and it could be a tough time there for KC for them.
The other one that I lean toward today, I don't know what you guys think. Mixon came up with a bum ankle Wednesday in practice. That's never a good sign when you get injured in practice midweek. I went under his rushing yards at 56.5. The turf is going to be hard. The Chiefs have not given up a ton of yards on the ground. And I think the game script in the second half is going to go away from Mixon and more towards Stroud in the passing game. Yep. So I like Mixon under 56.5 rushing yards. I just don't see him getting a ton of yards, especially on that ankle today. And it's cold out there and everything else. So
and that was an interesting debacle because Wednesday night he didn't have a bum ankle yet. And we brought this up on the player prop on the Buffoon show, Sports Buffoons, 54.5 at the time. And last time he played KC, he got 57, right? And quite frankly, to me though, they didn't really have any other weapons out there, so they had to run the ball in the end to get something going there. But he's only hit it the one time since week 15. That was KC, and then he hit it last week, big time, of course, with the Charger game. But if you look at the defenses that were really good containing the run game, your Detroits, your Tennessee twice, even Miami, because Miami was forced to play defense their last 10 weeks, it seemed like they contained them.
Yeah,
KC did a pretty good job, I thought, containing too in that matter. I don't mind the under in this one at all. I'm right there with it. And now you got the ankle injury. You got it cold. It's gonna be 30 mile per hour gust at times. And then on field, it's even colder than what you experience up in the stands. I don't know. That's a good prop bet, I think, to probably dabble on the under. Alan, what do you think, man? Is Joey Mixon? Is he hitting that 55.5 mark?
No, because I think Kansas City's gonna try to keep him at bay, but I do think CJ Stroud will hit his over on rush attempts.
Ooh,
at the
let's
very
take
least.
a look at that.
Because he's been. I think if Houston wants to win this game, CJ's going to have to make plays with his legs. He's going to have to get outside the pocket. He's going to have to run for first downs. He's going to have to make some plays for Houston to try to win this game.
Rushing yards, you said?
Yards and attempts, actually.
Okay, so rushing yards, it's 15.5 rushing yards right now.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, he's hit that 5 of the last 10. He hit that, of course, easily last week against the Chargers, and against KC as well. That was the last time before the Chargers game. He went way under with Tennessee, of course, Tennessee, because that was week 18, but Baltimore, Miami, Jacksonville, he did not go the over, but you did have a Tennessee in week 12. He went just barely over, and then Dallas game and the Jets game. So against KC last time, he ran for 23 yards. I think he has to get to above that 25-yard mark. Yeah, to keep just to keep things going, keep the flow going, keep Mahomes off the field.
Yeah, I mean, CJ Stroud's going to have to step up big today. I mean, that's just plain and simple because the Kansas City's been through, as you guys know, time and time again, year after year, they've been through all these games. So, Casey's got the experience. Houston does not, for the most part. So, I just think that Kansas City is going to pull, as Alan said, pull away in the second half, which they're going to do. And the other one is Mahomes' 24.5 rushing yards. He kind of runs a little bit more in the playoffs than usual.
Oh, Mahomes in his every now and then running.
Yeah, so his ankle, I think, is good to go. He's fine. He's over that ankle injury, it seems like. 24 and a half is a little
No. He still has a high ankle sprain. We're still putting it out there. He has a high ankle sprain.
All right.
Because he plays way better with a high ankle sprain than anything else. So.
Just don't let the media say it's a bye week because it could come back to bite him.
No playoff game is ever a bye week.
Rex Ryan is one of the biggest, what do I want to say? Blabber. What do I want to say? Like
blabbermouth.
Hype guy. Like, hey, let me just make these ridiculous.
Hey, he'd be perfect for New York, wouldn't he?
He would be. You know what? And you know what? Take the Achos with you. The Acho brothers.
Wait till the hatred for New York comes out next year when he doesn't get the Jets job. So
dumb. Let's take a look here at Mahomes' rushing yards prop here. It's 25.5.
It's up.
Which is actually, I thought a little high here. He's hit the under in this 8 out of last 10 against Houston. Last time was his one time hitting the over since week 10 was against Houston. He had 33 yards there. Look, I think I honestly probably would lean towards the under there. He's going to rush at times, but I don't think it's going to go for 50 yards or anything. I think for him, it's going to be getting the first downs, getting out of bounds. So he might, get near the 20-yard mark in the end for him. But I mean, you got Pacheco back, you got Hunt, not banged up now because Hunt took some abuse this season coming back to the Chiefs, and with Pacheco going down, he said there was even a quote from an interview where Hunt said he couldn't even get out of bed at times.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, God dang, man. I know you took some hits, but hot dang. So, with Kareem Hunt there feeling that way, Samaje's in the mix. That Worthy's going to get the ball at times as well in the backfield. Wouldn't be surprised to see Hollywood back there either. So you got multiple guys there where I don't think Mahomes needs to make the sprint for 50 yards, 30 yards to go down the sideline there. And I don't think Houston's going to let them. I don't think Houston's going to let them at all. Jazeer wasn't in the game last time either. So you can remember that. Some of these players are back for Houston that wasn't in the Houston game to the first time around. So there's going to be some more containment there. I'd lean the under personally for me for the Mahomes rushing prop here. Obviously, for a Chiefs fan, wouldn't be mad if that lost, but I think that's kind of where we're leaning there in that direction.
To both of you, who is the receiver you want in Kansas City today? I know who it is for me, but if you had one prop on one receiver,
you know what? All right. Don't pick it yet, Alan. Let's just I'll give you the list here. Okay. For what we got now, Hopkins I know is up to 32. Last time I looked at it for receiving yards, it is 32.5 now for Hopkins. Xavier Worthy, who was a force last time, is 51.5. Hollywood Brown. It's not Hollywood Brown, is it? It's Marquise on here still. Yep.
I mean, tomato.
Yeah, it should find him still. 43.5 for Hollywood Brown. Who would you take, Alan?
Yep, you guys go first. I'll give you mine after.
I'm taking D-Hop.
Yeah,
a guy with veteran experience in playoff games in the past. A guy that could be huge. That was brought into Kansas City for reasons like this. Give me D-Hop today
against his former team.
In the
playoffs.
In the playoffs.
And by
Even
the way,
though Bill O'Brien's not there, he's still going to stick it to Houston.
I will throw this out there for the D-Hop convincing deal is you got to think about usage, right? And we traded with Tennessee for him, and the usage amount ended up being low enough because we didn't play him in week 18, and we didn't really throw the ball to him the last 3 weeks too much at all. His targets weren't there like it was initially when he showed up. Well, that's for draft pick reasons. That's just the genius of Hollywood Brown returning, and you didn't have to force the ball to Hopkins. So instead of giving up a fourth, you now gave up a fifth to Tennessee. So that is locked in. Now you can use the guy like insane amount here. You know what, Scott? I'm gonna play your game here, and I'm gonna give you one outlier. Okay, get ready for it here. Get ready for it. It's coming.
Justin Watson.
Yeah, anytime TD plus 950. No, Justin Watson. Where's this? What the heck, man?
That's not the guy I was picking. I'm going Worthy. I
like Worthy. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, so here's the correlation I'm going to give, and I'll hit it with Tanner when he comes back. Remember Rashee Rice last year? As the season got going, he got more and more and more targeted, and more receiving yards, and more work. Worthy's on that trajectory where Rice was last year, where he got more and more. I'm not saying he's Rashee Rice. He got more and more work. And Mahomes will take a shot to him like Goff does with Jameson Williams. He'll take that one or two shots during the game, the long shot down the field. And I think that's where Worthy can excel, is that one or two shots from Mahomes down the field, and then work in the intermediate stuff. But I agree with you guys. Hopkins is a veteran guy that Mahomes can lean on, but Worthy will get that one or two explosive shots.
I think Hollywood Brown's going to be your guy meeting the prop today. 43.5. He hit 45 against Houston, 46 against Pittsburgh. Since his return, though, that offense looked way better against these teams that we were expecting a little closer games at. And also Hollywood Brown can make the underneath routes now. Like, you have a guy that can go expertly into those middle situations across the field and know where he has to be and actually catch the ball. So look, I kind of like all three hitting the over in that matter. It was 28.5 for D-Hop, by the way, for the yards back on Wednesday. So that, and then it went to 30.5 on Friday. And then late yesterday actually went to 32.5. So that has climbed. That prop has climbed there. So, but yeah, I don't mind, guys. I don't mind it there. Let's you want to flip it around?
The only reason I say Hopkins more so is because Houston's secondary loves to play physical. They always go for the ball. They always go for the turnover. They like to be very physical. D-Hop can definitely out physical a lot of the guys on that team. Same with Travis Kelce, and same with the other tight end. I can't remember his name right now, but Noah Gray. Yeah, that's why I like Noah Gray today. I like Travis Kelce. I like D-Hop because I think Houston's going to try to be physical with some of these smaller receivers, and having a guy like a DeAndre Hopkins, having a guy like a Travis Kelce, having a guy like Noah Gray that can be physical, especially in the red zone, will be hugely beneficial for Kansas City today.
Before we flip it over, it's strange. Mahomes could throw for 200, 205 yards, and every receiver could hit their prop today.
Legit. And if you do find a Justin Watson receptions, Mark, it's probably gonna be 1.5, most likely, if not 0.5. If it's 0.5, hit the over. If it's 1.5, hit the under. Usually Mahomes gets him from one good shot down towards the end zone. They've been successful one time out of the 3 attempts, at least the last 3 attempts there, with the only success coming against Pittsburgh. But they did against Houston last time, and Justin Watson went right through his freaking arms. So look for that shot there. But I would take the under if it's 1.5, honestly, for that one. So just because you got all these other targets that you're probably gonna be aiming towards, you're not going to empty out the backfield that much.
Real quick, you mentioned a big day in college basketball today. Right now, Alabama and Kentucky just kicked off not too long ago. About 10 minutes to go in the first half. It's 26-24 Alabama. Close game. It's just early on.
Good. That should be a close game.
Points.
Yeah, the points go up, baby.
Go.
Creighton, by the way, just under 15 minutes in the first half. Creighton just took a 1-point lead over UConn after being up 14-7. So
I need points. Come on, Kentucky.
And right now, number 10 Houston trails Central Florida on the road.
Hey, don't watch out for UCF, man. When they go on, they go on. So
three really good conference games to start the day. How about that?
That's right. Hey, I said beginning of the show, it's a great college basketball slate today. A lot of great games to watch here. And we got a banger at noon Central here today to see which Kansas team sucks the most. So we'll figure that out, I guess, around noon.
Auburn, Georgia too, number 1 team in the country.
Don't get me started on KU right now. All right. Anyways, back to the KC Houston games. Let's keep talking props here. Let's switch over to the Houston side here. Same question, Scott. Same question. Let's figure out which one of these 3 guys we like in the receiving ranks for player prop. Okay. So of course, Nico being the first guy, his player prop currently is 80. Oh, that's not it. Yeah, 83.5 receiving yards. We got who we go? John Mechie, I guess, would be your next guy.
A lot of
34.5 receiving yards there. And then Robert Woods, would that be his 3?
Yep.
I'll give you another name that I think could have a big game.
18.5.
I know who Allen's going with. It's Dalton Schultz.
Nope.
Oh, it's not. Okay. Well, okay.
Xavier Hutchinson.
There it is.
Not only over on receiving yards, but I like him anytime touchdown today.
So
somebody in that receiving core is going to have to step up. Xavier Hutchinson's been playing well the last few weeks.
16.5.
A good game today.
16.5 receiving yards there
definitely
for
gonna
Hut.
take that.
So
he can get that in one catch. I think.
No doubt. I personally think if Nico gets shut down, Stroud's going to struggle to throw for 150 yards.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you're going to air the ball out regardless. Like, you're going to touch 2. And Hutch
another name,
the key guy for him last week.
Cade Stover.
Cade Stover.
Here we go. The Josh Oliver, Cade Stover love.
Yeah, let's see what that reception mark is.
It's got to be half. It's
not even popping up.
I see Stover catching at least 3 balls today.
Hey, if you find Cade Stover, I'd hit the over on 0.5 receptions. I can tell you that.
If Mixon is ineffective today, I think Spags' defensive game plan centers around slowing down Nico Collins.
I think so too.
Which means that Mechie or Hutchinson or Schultz or Cade Stover is going to have to step up, 1 or 2 of them. Because if they don't, you're looking at not much passing yards. And what you just said, Alan, it doesn't sound like Schultz is on the radar for a huge day if Cade Stover was catching 3 balls today. I just don't think Stroud's going to throw to the tight end that much, which means it's got to come. Robert Woods has been underwhelming all year long.
Yes, he
has.
is.
I've heard a lot of Mechie love this week.
I have heard too.
He's run so many routes in games.
This is probably the best Mechie's looked since he's come out in the NFL.
Yeah,
I think next year is going to be a huge jump for him because I think he's going to be fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's starting to look like the John Mechie we saw at Alabama a few years ago. He's
Yeah.
starting to look more and more like it.
I hate to use injury as a thing, but this Tank Dell injury has just ruined the passing game. It's decimated the passing game because Nico Collins doesn't have a great game. I don't know if Stroud's going with the ball today. I think it's Mechie. It could be Hutchinson.
Hutch was the only one that really had a big game last week outside of Nico, right? And if you look at Mechie, his player prop at 34.5, he's only hit that thing twice in the last 10 games. Right. And last week he had 28 yards. I think honestly, if I want to bet Mechie, I know the under hit 7 in the last 10 on his receptions at 3.5, but yeah, I think I'd be willing to take a stab at going the over on that one and under on receiving yards.
Again, I think Kansas City's going to really try to take away Nico Collins today as much as they can.
I mean, we did last time.
Yeah. So I think it's going to happen again.
Not only that, Tanner, you're getting Jalen Watson back.
Yeah, I was about to say we got Jalen Watson back. Hallelujah.
They were talking him up big time on a couple of shows that I was listening to.
Yeah. He's
once he comes back, the secondary is going to be in great shape.
Yep, we activated it. Got him back on the 53-man yesterday, so he should be he'll be playing now. There's a chance where he has had, a chance
Texas
he's at
also
snap
could
count
be getting
limited.
Alshire back on defense today.
Yeah, Alshire most likely coming back too. But I don't see a snap count for Watson today, so I think that's all just like because he had an injury BS. I don't think that's happening, guys. So on that, all right, guys, let's man, this is wild to me. I just can't believe we're doing this, but let's lock it in, guys. Let's lock in our bets here. 2 to 3 bets that we really like for this game in Kansas City and Houston. Alan, start us off.
I like Houston plus 6.5 at halftime. First half, I think they're going to keep it close early on. I like Kate Stover over on receptions. And I like DeAndre Hopkins anytime touchdown.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. Scott?
I'll give you 2 and I'll give you a parlay with this game.
We got parlay fun. Let's go.
Joe Mixon under 56.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
I'll go Samaje Perine over 9.5 receiving yards. And the parlay I'll give you is Mixon under rush yards, Chiefs money line, and I'll give you a tennis bet. Arena Sabalenka money line, number 1 women's player in the world. That's plus 152.
Nice.
Plus
money. Okay.
Yeah, plus money.
There you go. Let me look at this tennis bet on NFL Saturday. Look at this thing. Got out here.
Yeah, I've been watching the Australian Open. I've been making some nice little money on that.
All right, tennis here. It's too damn cold.
Yeah, right. That's for sure. Can't even play pickleball here outside.
It's only 92 degrees in Australia right now. So
yeah, right. It's just a mild heat wave over there.
29 here.
Oh, there you go. 92-29. There you go.
All right. I'm going under Mahomes rushing yards. I believe that was 25.5. We're going to take the over Pacheco receptions at 1.5. And we're going to take the over in receiving yards for Travis Kelce at 53.5 because it's playoff time. And last year we thought Kelce was done. Look what happened. Okay. I think Kelce's going to be a thing. I think Kelce's going to be a thing in the playoff here. I love that bet there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is your bets here for the first game on Saturday. Did it work? There it is. Okay. Lock it in, baby. Lock it in here. So before we move on to the next game, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow whatever platform you're watching on. The Rec Room Sports Hub here. We have a weekly show on Tuesdays. We go about 2 to 3 hours, but we talk a lot of stuff. We have a lot of other personalities on for that show. We have In the Hoop that was on last night. Make sure you guys go check it out there. A lot of NBA talk within that show there. And of course, right here, I'm locking in. We're at it. So make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. So, all right, moving on to the next game. It's prime time on Saturday. Washington, Detroit. The line right now is you can get actually Washington at 9.5 on BetMGM right now if you really wanted to. or DraftKings at 8.5 favorites for Detroit. Over under right now is 55.5. And if we look at the first half spread and over under, it's 6.5 points favorites for Detroit and over under 27.5 for your first half bets there. Guys, look, what do we like here on the line situation before we move to player props? Anything?
I think these lines are pretty good. Actually, I think these lines are pretty good.
I think they're pretty spot on, honestly.
Yeah, I see a high scoring game tonight.
Yeah.
I see something like a 34-27 type of game. So if that's the case, then you know these teams are going to score in the first half. So I would lean toward the Lions minus 6.5 in the first half. They played through week 18, so they've only had a week off. So they basically had a bye week, and then they're back. So I would tend to think that the Lions team you saw before Montgomery's injury is the Lions team you're going to see tonight because Montgomery's back.
Yeah. So Detroit Lions have hit the first half money line 14 in the last 21 games. They've also covered the first half spread 16 in the last 21 games. But the Commanders are where are you at here? No, they don't have a trend positive for that first half bet there. So maybe the play is leaning that direction there.
And by the way, Alan's all about all Detroit bets tonight.
I know he is.
I know what he's winning. All black.
Alan, what do you like on the game lines today?
I like the minus 8.5. Truly, I do. I actually like the under more so than the over. I don't think Washington's going to score that many points today. I think Detroit's defense is getting healthier at the right time. Washington's defense, while they did have a decent week last week, they have struggled all year long, giving up big leads and stuff like that. They have won. I'll give them credit. They've won their last 6 games, which is impressive. If you don't count the bye week, they've won 6 in a row. Detroit, they've won about 3 in a row, but one of those losses came to a Buffalo team that knows how to put up points on the board. So I really can't count that, but that's still a loss. But
Okay.
Plus, you're going to have David Montgomery back. David Montgomery's that change of pace back. That's going to kill the clock, get you your short yardage runs, get you your short yardage scores. Washington, I think the only way Washington wins this game today is if they themselves control the clock like they did against Tampa last Sunday night. Yeah. If they control the clock, if they put the pace of the game at the way they want it, I think they have a good shot of potentially pulling off the upset, but I don't think that's going to happen. As you can see, we're burying the Commanders today. We're laying them to rest. Give me Detroit on the minus 8.5. Dan Quinn's going to have Green Bay flashbacks from last year.
Is that what it is? Is he be on the sideline like, no. Oh my Lord.
Unless he gets down 28-3, and then he's just going to be like, really?
He would do that too. He would have flashbacks. Though.
Don't be surprised. 28-3, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if either Decker or Penei Sewell gets an opportunity to score a touchdown today. That's just very Dan Campbell-like. And they've been trying for weeks to get one of their offensive linemen into the end zone. So don't be surprised if we see that happening.
Okay. That's interesting. All right, let's dig into it, guys. Player props time. Where do we want to start?
I'll start very easily. Mine and Alan's favorite player, David Montgomery.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. I was already typing it in.
His rushing prop is 45.5 rush yards. I'm going to go over. He's fully practiced all week. He's clearly back again. So I think that they're going to go back to the running game that you saw at the beginning of the year when Montgomery, again, was healthy. Not saying Gibbs is not going to be on the field with Montgomery because they both could be on the field at the same time. I think you're going to see Gibbs in the slot sometimes tonight.
Yeah.
And Montgomery in the backfield. Washington has given up a lot of rushing yards this year. So I think Montgomery is going to hit his rush prop
Now, before his injury, Montgomery hit his rush prop 5 out of the last 9 attempts. So,
Yeah.
and he was on his way too. Chicago and Green Bay, he both went over the 45.5 mark here. Jacksonville, he went over. Green Bay, he went over. But Houston, Indy, Tennessee, and Minnesota, he was well under in those games there. So, it's weird too, right? It's the way Detroit plays. If they get up big, you'll probably see him, hit it.
Right.
But if it's a close game, you may not.
Right.
It's the game. What's the game script going? What's the game flow going right now? And Gibbs, Gibbs have been such a fired running back right now. He's in the hole. He got a lot of playing time, of course, and Montgomery should take some of that away. But at the same time, like, do you not ride the hot hand? Like,
Well, the thing that I heard on one of the shows that I listened to is that Washington is either number 1 or number 2 against pass catching running backs and not allowing them to catch ball and run. And that's been Gibbs happen a lot. Some of his productions come in the passing game. So I don't know how much in the passing game he's going to get. Plus, I think if Detroit gets up by 2 touchdowns early, they're going to try to grind Montgomery on Washington. And that's the way they're going to go.
Yeah.
So I know Gibbs is physical as a runner and stuff like that, but I just think that Montgomery being out for 3 or 4 weeks, he's fresh and he's ready to go. So I think he's going to get in the 50s. His rushing props have been 50s and 60s for most of the year, and now it's 45.5 because of the injury and because he's coming back. So I just think, and in DFS on FanDuel, he's $4,000, Montgomery. That's like the free square. So if he scores 1 or 2 touchdowns tonight, you're going to get double what you thought you're going to get. So I just like Montgomery to get like 55 to 60 yards rushing and at least a score tonight.
Okay.
That's where I think he's headed. So
Alan, what's your thoughts, man?
You're going to have the best offensive line going up against a really good defensive front today. Washington's probably one of the more underrated defensive fronts in the league because their secondary is not really that great, so they don't really get help from them. But their front seven is really, really good, so they may load the box to try to – they may try to say Jared Goff beat us, which that's probably not going to work either. But I do like David Montgomery today. They did a relatively good job on Bucky Irving last week, but I just think because that offensive line is just so good, it's the best offensive line in the league. They're gonna struggle a little bit. Good news though for Washington is they do get Jonathan Allen back. I did not see him on the injury report, so it looks like he might be playing tonight. So that's huge. That's Deron Payne, actually. My bad, Deron Payne, who got hurt in that game against Tampa Bay last week. So that will be huge to have both Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen in the middle. It'll be interesting to see what Dan Quinn comes up with to try to slow this rushing attack down.
Yeah, and I think the one thing you got to remember last week is Washington held the ball for like 36 minutes last week. So Tampa did not have the ball for a long time last week.
And keep in mind, Scott, the last time Dan Quinn saw this offense last year in Dallas, he actually held both running backs down in rushing. So Dan Quinn knows how to prepare and prep for these two running backs specifically.
Yeah, no question.
Before.
No question.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind that at all, guys. That's good discussions there. Who else? Who else we looking at?
I personally like Austin Eckler over 24.5 receiving yards.
Let's talk some Austin Eckler for sure.
Yeah, I think the game plan is if Detroit brings the pressure like they did against Sam Darnold in Week 18, Daniels is going to have to get the ball off quick, and that plays right into Austin Eckler's hands for catching the ball tonight. So 24.5 receiving yards is all he needs.
He's 23.5 to the line, and then he had 26 last week, right? So Eckler coming back for this Washington offense is pretty dang huge. It's pretty dang huge. And Brian Robinson, no fault to him, man. But I mean, you talked about a banged up running back right now. Like that guy's been abused and it shows in his play right now for him. So Eckler coming in, it's a big relief there. I think with Eckler too, what I like is his receptions is 3.5, which I'll take that, and then his rushing attempts is only 6.5 right now. I think he gets a few looks there. I think he gets the 8-10 mark.
Yeah, Brian Robinson has struggled last week. He either struggles big or he has a pretty big game. So I think I'm looking for Robinson to struggle. So I think this could be an Eckler game in the backfield tonight for Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Jaden's going to have to run. Is going to be running for his life because
that's the other thing. Yeah. Yep.
Since Anzalone coming back was huge for Detroit because they missed that edge pass rusher. I know Zadarius Smith is good, but he's not quite what Hayden Hutchinson is, and he's not quite what Alex Anzalone is. So Anzalone coming back has been huge for Detroit. I feel he could have a big game. I like Jaden Daniels over in his rushing yards because he's led this team in rushing the last few weeks. They have not found much success in the ground game. So I like Jaden Daniels to go over on the rushing yards because I think he's going to lead the team in rushing in this game.
Okay.
So Detroit has struggled against rushing mobile quarterbacks the last.
That
2
is
years.
a fact. That is a fact.
So I think his longest rush is 15.5 yards, if I saw it correctly. I would go over that too. I think Jaden Daniels, he usually gets that one big run at some point in the game. He might get a 20-yard run tonight against Detroit. So I would look at that too. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have to use his feet more than his arm to keep the ball in their possession. So
let's take a look. Let's take a look at Daniels player prop here for that going on. Let's see. Let's scroll over. Okay. Right now, rushing yards is 55.5, which he's met that only 4 out of the last 10 games.
That's high.
Yeah, 55.5 is high. And look, I get he's a running quarterback and stuff, but I mean, he's like I said, he's only hit this 4 times in the last 10 games. Last week he was well under there, 36, and his line last week for the wild card was 54.5.
Right.
So I probably taking the under on the rushing yards. I don't think he has the opportunity to escape for these big runs today.
Right. Plus, I think if Washington is down, I think that could curtail his rushing. I would take his under and rushing prop, but if his longest rush is 15.5 yards, I might take the over on that.
Yeah. I would probably look at that. Actually, I have
more so than the yards.
I got my DK up. Let me pop in real quick here. Alan, does that help? Are you still for Daniels?
I'm still going over because I think you're going to have one side cover, but I think he's going to be able to get away from a couple of these guys. So
let's pop in here. Rushing, longest rush, over under. Daniels is 15.5. Yeah. I think he usually there's games where he gets this 20-yard run out of nowhere. So tonight could be the night. Do you think real quick here on this player prop, particularly for this game, longest rush over under, Gibbs, 19.5. Taking the over under?
I'll go over. I think if he gets past that first line, he's pretty set. He's got the speed to get away from linebackers, so I'll go over.
Right. Alan, as long as
over, I'm going to go over too.
Daniels is 15.5.
I'm over on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're over, okay.
Montgomery Detroit's defense is still banged up, so
it is, but they got some guys back. So
they're getting healthy.
Montgomery is 12.5.
I'd go under. That's the one I'd go under on.
Yeah.
I think he gets a couple of 8-9 yard runs, but I don't think he pops one for 15.
I think the longest gain is going to be through the pass instead of the run.
Yeah, I think so too. Brian Robinson Jr. is 10.5.
Under. I don't think he's getting past 5 yards today.
Right now is over odds are plus 10 or plus 100. So
I don't think he's getting. I don't think he's getting more than a 5-yard run today.
DK's daring you to take the over on that with plus.
Yeah, Yeah, it is. Austin Eckler, 8.5 is that number, with the under being plus 100.
I'm going to take the under. He's going to be more effective in the passing game today, I think.
I'll go over. I think, again, they're daring you to take the under.
They really are. They really are.
Yeah.
On that, man, that's just.
That.
By the way, so real quick here, the big name I've been hearing around the betting community is none other than Diami Brown, player prop today.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been
career game last week.
Yeah, 89 yards on a prop of 26 and a half. And today it's 36 and a half there. Over under receptions right now are 2.5, which I like the over in that. I feel like he's going to get at least 3. If we look at his history here for that, he's been over the 2.5 mark since week 13. Since week 13, he's been over. That should tell you something. Here. I don't know. I feel like that's one of those lines where I'm like, oh well, it's like Jalen Naylor. It's like, oh yeah, I'll take the over on that. So
I'd be so afraid that Zacchaeus has a big game tonight.
Is it a Zacchaeus game? You think?
Zacchaeus.
I have no idea because it was Zacchaeus for 2 or 3 weeks, and now it's Diami Brown. I mean, they could go. Jade Daniels could go anywhere. Ertz could have a huge game tonight. I mean, they can go anywhere tonight.
Really, it can go any direction.
McLaurin's going to be a staple. I've already bet the over on his receiving yards. Was it 68?
Scary Terry.
I don't know if it's gone up, but he's the staple. He had a huge game last week against Tampa. I think Daniels
68.5. Yeah,
focus on him. So I think he's going to go over that prop. And then the second guy in Washington, I just have it could be Eckler, could be Ertz, could be Diami Brown, it could be Zacchaeus, it could be any of these guys.
Yeah.
So, but 2.5 seems really low. So I would tend to go over on that Brown prop.
Kind of what I'm thinking too on that one. So
yeah.
In that, any other player prop guys that you guys want to see? And we can talk trends wise. And if you're out there and you guys want to see something, throw it in the comments. We can take a look at it.
Yeah, we've talked about most everything on this game. I don't think there's any other guy. Maybe Tim Patrick gets over receiving prop.
Yeah, Tim Patrick's he's a very weird usage. He's primary blocker in that. I know he missed last time against Minnesota by a yard.
Yeah.
He had 16.5 was his prop bet, and he hit 15. And this, once again, 16.5 is your prop bet today, which, again, he had a great stretch there between week 11 and week 15, dropped off, of course, and then Minnesota last week, he missed it by a yard. Could still be a threat in the passing game at times. At the same time, that's a tough one to bet on. His over-under receptions is 1.5, which he's hit that 7 out of the last 10. So last week he did hit that because, again, 2 catches, it gets you that money. So I'd probably take the over just in the 1.5. Honestly, and that might just be the bet to look at.
Yeah. I think we've hit everybody in this game. Maybe Laporta too. Laporta might catch a touchdown.
What is Laporta? Let's take a look here. Yeah, I think I like him more in the end zone than anything. He's been kind of a threat there lately. Sam Laporta's 49.5 receiving yards. He's gone over the last 2 weeks there. He's hit the over 5 out of the last 10. 4.5 receptions is that one. Minnesota, San Francisco, Buffalo, Green Bay. So he's also been right around that 4.5 mark the entire time, where you have 5 of the last 10 on the over under on that. So, it just depends what the heck Green Bay, Detroit's running out there, So,
well, you get 1 or 2 defenses with Detroit. You're either going to get the aggressive one you saw in Week 18, or you're going to get the one that's going to give up a lot of yards and a lot of production to Washington.
Mm-hmm. Detroit right now. That's not. I heard somebody say this the other night. I think I agree with them, or at least from the NFC side. Detroit has the most complete team in the NFL.
No question.
As far as, weapons that they have on offense, the defensive players that they have, the guys coming off the bench who've played well all year long. Did anybody say, well, no one made any complaints for Detroit all year long. They've had so many guys go out on defense, and it's just that next man up mentality. Then they play great all year. So Detroit, to me, has probably the most well-balanced roster potentially in the entire NFL. And that is hard to deal with for any team because there's so many guys you have to cover. There's so many guys you have to watch out for.
That's true.
There's a team in Missouri that would differ with you because they got everybody back today. So they're going to be dangerous as well, I think.
And we still got, Miko out there,
Yeah.
Miko playing the Ben Simmons role, collecting the paycheck on the bench.
But this is the healthiest
injury world.
They got 3 receivers that are fast: Hopkins, Hollywood, Worthy, Pacheco.
It's just the returning role. That's all it is. And Remigio is doing really well. So there's no sense there. All right, guys. Sounds like we've pretty much covered what we needed to. So let's go ahead and lock in our bets here for this game here. Again, 2 to 3 bets that we have a lock in. This is what we're betting, and this is what we feel very, very confident in here. It can be anything from player props to the game line. So, all right, Scott, start us off.
Montgomery 45.5 rush yards over, obviously. Austin Eckler over 24.5 for 23.5 receiving yards now, as you said. And I'm going to take a different twist here. Jared Goff under 36.5 passing attempts. If Detroit is running the ball effectively, I think Goff's passing attempts, he won't hit 35. I think he'll hit in the 31, 32 range. So those are the 3 bets I'm going with in this game.
I'm down for that. Okay. Alan, what you got?
Jaden Daniels over rush yards. I think he's going to be their leading rusher today. I like Jameson Williams anytime touchdown. I think they're going to try to make a big splash play to him early in the game. And then Jahmyr Gibbs over rush yards. I think both him and David Montgomery are going to have a good day today. Washington does struggle against the run, so I think both guys could have a big day. And like Scott said, if that's the case, then Jared Goff won't have to pass as much.
Okay, I don't mind that here. You guys ready for this one? Washington fans aren't going to like me. Look, we're going to do Laporta over 4.5. We are taking Diami Brown, whatever.
Diami Brown.
I'm taking him over that 3. Is it 3.5 or 2.5? I forgot. 2.5. 2.5 receptions there. And then here we go. Taking the Commanders under team total of 22.5. I think it's a blowout today, guys. Yeah, just give Allen the shovel. It's fine. He'll get the hole big enough. So, but yeah, I think that's kind of what.
Here lies the Washington. We can't figure out our name quite yet.
If Washington wins, there will be no post game show tomorrow night. Allen will be
Jay will just blow my phone up and be like, "What?
Oh man, Jay, Washington wins the game. This game, man.
This is the first time that they've won a playoff game since 2005. So
right,
kudos to them for that.
That's your bets to lock in, ladies and gentlemen. There. Now we're gonna touch base here tomorrow. By the way, we'll cover the next 2 games. We'll also cover the NCAA title game on Monday night as well with the show tomorrow. But today, we're gonna hit.
Tanner, would you like me to give you your college basketball updated scores?
That's what I was hoping for. What you got?
Halftime, Creighton up 35-28 over UConn at halftime. Got Central Florida up on Houston by 10, 38-28. And you've got Alabama and Kentucky, 44-41 Alabama. High-scoring game.
No, that's not a high-scoring enough, Allen.
Now it's 40. Now it's 47-41 Alabama.
I like that even more.
All three of these games are about to hit halftime. So,
hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
Army's up. Big time. Big time.
Here we go. Come on.
I just got them for minus 14.5 before they went on a big old run. It's 40-15 against Boston University. So,
give me
that Army line, baby. Love it. Love it. All right, guys. Let's
Boston University, Boston College. It don't matter.
I can't bet
Army wins.
Massachusetts has this stupid rule. You can't bet Boston colleges on their games. Stupid rule. I would have bet Army too. I would have taken Army.
You bet on the University of Massachusetts, just not Boston College.
So you can't even bet on them either. No Massachusetts colleges. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
That's the dumbest thing. Well, we can't do a lot of the fun bets for Super Bowl here in Kansas City, so just take all the fun away from it. No, we can't do a lot of like the timing of the national anthem, timing of halftime not halftime, but like the songs, all that. So they hate us. I'm telling you, they no fun league. I mean, sorry, that's not NFL. Let's say
can't even bet on whether or not Bevo's going to be on the field or not.
Yeah, exactly. What the heck? Let's talk some big games here. We got a few games starting here in 7 minutes that are pretty, I'd say, big. It's rivalry day, if you guys don't know, in college basketball. So we got Auburn, Georgia. You kind of alluded to it there, Alan, earlier. -5 favorites for Auburn right now. You can get +5.5 for Georgia on BetMGM. Over under 145.5, 146. Do we like any of these lines?
I like Auburn -5.5. Auburn is the best team in college basketball right now. Georgia's okay, but they're nowhere near on the level of what Auburn's playing right now.
I'll give you a -5, Alan, just for you. DK, so even better. What about you, Scott?
I agree with that, but doesn't one of Auburn's best players is out with an injury?
I think so, yeah. I think I saw that yesterday.
Short term, it won't affect him. I don't think it will today, but watch out if that lingers. It could be a big thing for Auburn coming down, into the SEC tournament. So
I think this is a big game for Georgia here. I mean, they have some good wins already on their resume, but I mean, if you can put an Auburn win on that resume like that puts you into a different category there. So that, of course, the Sunflower Showdown here today, KU, K-State, and Allen Fieldhouse. -15 is your spread. You can get +15.5 on BetMGM for K-State. Over-unders 139, 139.5. That 139 sounds accurate to me. I'll take the under in this game here. K-State stinks. KU can't score. We're also missing KJ Adams today, which is more defensive threat there. But I mean, defense is KU's defense is going to be amazing, but their offense is probably going to stink again. So.
Well, I'd said to you, Kansas played Cincinnati with 54-40. I said, what the heck happened? That was the final.
I know. It was 30. Was it 37-48 or something like that with 2 minutes left?
That's unbelievable. So I'm going to split the bet. I'm going to say Kansas wins the game, but Kansas State covers. I don't. 15 is a big number for Kansas.
I put down -15 there. I think. I think we stop them, but it still won't look pretty.
Yeah.
But you, Alan,
I think it's going to be.
How much do you want to pick K-State?
I'm taking the plus. I'm taking the plus because I'm agree with D Tanner. Kansas has had trouble scoring. I think it's going to be a low scoring game today, and I think Kansas still wins in the end. But I think Kansas State's it's a rivalry game. Doesn't matter how bad a team is, they're going to play it. They're going to play it like it's the damn Super Bowl. So
yeah, it's true. Hey, we're going to get the best of K-State today.
I was like K-State. Not saying they're going to pull the upset, just saying don't be surprised if it happens.
Right? Yeah. No, it'll be a good game still.
Only because it's a rivalry game. It'll be a really good game though. I still think Kansas is going to win, but I think K-State covers.
Right. We're going down the way here. Xavier and Marquette going at today. Marquette is favored by 10 points. Over under is 148.5. I mean, Marquette should destroy these guys, right?
I love Marquette today. Yeah, I think Marquette wins easily by double digits today. So,
all agreements. I'm skipping that game. Yeah, I'm skipping that game. Going down the way here. We got SMU and Miami going at it. -5.5 favorites for SMU. Over under right now it's 155.5, 156. SMU got a couple wins, but they also got a couple losses under the belt. They're not very consistent. But Miami, talking about a disappointment this season.
I love SMU today. Miami's been a train wreck all year long. I love the SMU pick today.
So, yeah.
Tennessee's going to lose today. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Miami's been so inconsistent this year. Larinaga must have known something when he retired.
Yeah,
he must have known that something they weren't a good team. So I like SMU a lot today. I'm agree with Alan.
I think I'm leaning towards SMU. Maybe more of a live bet situation for me. Yeah. Arizona, Texas Tech in Texas Tech. This is only the 1:00 slate, guys. Like, this is how massive today is for sports. Yeah, -5 favorites for Texas Tech, going against Arizona, 149.5 here. Man, I
like Texas Tech.
I don't know.
At home. I like Texas Tech. That's a rough place to play. Arizona hasn't been a decent team at all this year. They've been okay, but not like the Arizona we've seen. They haven't been the Arizona we've seen the last few years.
No.
So yeah, give me Texas Tech at home today.
I'm trying to look it up real quick. Yeah, you're traveling West Coast to Texas. It's not like West Coast to East Coast. It's an early game. Arizona's playing. The body clocks are like in the morning. I would tend to lean toward Texas Tech in this game.
Yeah. I'm kind of right there with you guys there. It's that's gonna be a fun game though. If anything, maybe we take the over, because I think it can go into overtime. 149.5. I take into the 150s. So
it's crazy. This team's 11-5, but they're unbeaten in Big 12 play, which is nuts.
So it's the way the world works, right?
Oh, hang on.
Shouldn't we all be talking about me? I'm kind of a big deal.
Their losses are to Wisconsin, Duke, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and UCLA. Wait a minute.
Yeah, some of those are bad losses. UCLA until last night was terrible.
How are they 5-0 in conference play when they've lost to West Virginia?
I don't know. I don't understand that either.
Was the West Virginia game in a tournament? Is that what?
Oh, wait, that one might have been like an early deal. Yeah, exhibition.
Yeah, that was in a tournament.
Because they've beaten TCU, they beat Cincinnati, they beat West Virginia.
Yeah. Because conference play just starts.
And they also beat Baylor.
A lot of those conference teams played against each other in a.
Hey, Sam.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
But to Alan, to your point, a lot of these
that caught me off guard.
A lot of these teams played conference games against each other in tournaments, non-conference in tournaments. So
yeah, ask for it. It's not my fault.
That was great, Tanner.
You got Arizona though. Their conference schedule. They got 2 games against Texas Tech, 2 games against Iowa State, 2 games against Arizona State, and then they finish out the season. They finish out the season at Allen Fieldhouse in Kansas. So
this is what these schools wanted. They wanted to be in big time conferences like the Big 12 basketball.
It is.
So.
It is. It's what they wanted. They wanted these atmospheres, you know.
So when you see Arizona, Kansas in the Big 12 conference game, it's like, what?
Sam, I'm surprised you're not hyping up on the mat right now in the comments.
You don't wear it well. Thanks,
what the heck?
Thanks, Sam. Moving on here.
Petulant child strikes again.
Moving on here. Purdue, Oregon going at it today. Oregon, by the way. -2.5 favorites for Oregon. 147.5 is your over under there. Personally, for me, I'm kind of leaning on Purdue, and I'm kind of taking the over in this game.
Yeah, Purdue's 6 straight wins, I think. Only giving up 60 points a game. I kind of lean toward Purdue as well. I think Purdue can beat Oregon.
Yeah, kind of all ingredients in a way.
Sam's texting Alan right now. Alan's
He is.
They just bugged
I
out.
was about to say I wouldn't be surprised if he is.
Minus Wisconsin USC also at the same time frame at USC. Traveling all the way over, guys. It's West Coast Day, apparently. -2 favorites for USC in this game, 151.5. Look, I'm leaning towards Wisconsin in this game. I know they have to travel, but I'm also taking the under of 151.5, I think, in this game, too.
They've been scoring a lot.
I'm with you there, Tanner.
Yeah, Wisconsin's been scoring a lot, so I like Wisconsin a lot.
Yeah. So here, we'll keep going down the way. This is only the 2:00 slate. This is ridiculous. Tennessee, Vandy. Yeah, we missed our first downs in here. You know, we only 5.5-point favorites against Vandy at Vandy. 142.5 is your over under.
I love Vandy today. I think Vandy puts it on Tennessee. No, you got Tennessee's top
it's
5.
Tennessee.
Yeah, it's Tennessee. It's Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Well, I think they're number 6, but yeah, they're technically a top 5 team in the country.
Yeah, they are.
Between us and then once college baseball starts up, Jonathan's not gonna let Sam get off the hook.
The best part too is like Sam doesn't generally follow the college baseball at all. He's just Tennessee.
Tanner, you got to give him hell now because he stole your GM.
We'll have.
He didn't steal anybody from me. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
We'll have some
look. I got the perfect message for that. Okay. Where you at? LTS. I posted him a bunch of stuff. It's so one of our radio guys here, Josh O'Briscoe, posted quote tweeted. He goes, he helped finesse the Snead trade and Hopkins trade, then got hired to fix the mess. What a play! What a play! How else can you do it better? You got the first pick in the 3rd round from the Snead trade this year coming up. And Snead barely played for Tennessee this year.
Yep. You
got Hopkins, and you're only giving up a 5th now for that instance. And a healthy Hopkins, a Hopkins that looks good. And then you get hired, your guy that helps command some of these trades. Then he gets hired, and he gets to fix it all. Like
it's gonna be interesting to see Dak Prescott in a Titan uniform next year.
He's not.
Sam, I heard he's going to Tennessee in his first order of business. He's cutting Tony Pollard. Goodbye. You're out of town. See you later, pal. You made too much money last year. Bye.
Yeah. So, sorry, we'll keep going here. Hey, what about Oklahoma? They got South Carolina today. Oklahoma is -8. Favorites 140.5, 141 for your over under. Are we feeling good there?
You want me to start?
I was going to say, I think this is a bounce back game for them. They haven't looked good in the SEC play thus far, but I think this could be a bounce back game for them today.
So I said when they played Alabama was going to crush them, and they did. I also said that they may not win a game until the first week of February. This would be the only game they possibly can win. They got a gauntlet of a schedule here. They're in the middle of a gauntlet in the SEC. So they better beat South Carolina today, because if they don't, they may not win a game until the first week of February. So
they'll be a fringe tournament team almost, kind of like they have been the last 3 years.
Yeah.
They went from the top 4, top 5 seed in the tournament about 2 weeks ago to an 8-9 seed right now.
Yeah.
And if they lose today,
it would have been in the tournament last year if Jay's North Carolina team didn't lay an egg.
Yeah, that's true.
So why are we losing to NC State of all teams? A team that had to play 7 days in a row?
NC State doesn't stop playing until February. We learned that last year. They don't stop playing until February. So that's why. But yeah, I mean, Oklahoma looked really good, and then they ran into Alabama at Alabama, and that was it.
Alabama did stuff. So, that's plain and simple there. Longhorns Gators going out today. 10.5 favorites for the Gators. 153.5. That's a lot of points, especially after losing Missouri. That's a lot of points, I think. But you're also in Florida, so I'd probably lean towards Florida in this one. I think
Gators
over
are one of the
under.
better teams
Over.
in the conference, and I think
Yeah.
after a loss like that, they're going to want to prove that they are. So it could be a long day for Texas today. And I'm not just saying that because I hate Texas with a burning passion. I'm saying that because I think Florida's that good.
Florida can score. They lost 106-100 to Kentucky last Saturday.
Yeah.
If Florida can get up and down in this game, and this is a perfect in-game bet, then Florida is the play for me. But if Texas plays defense, Texas would be the play for me. So,
yeah, if Texas brings that Big 12 mentality over for this game, it might be a long Monday.
And Texas needs some big time wins. Yeah, Texas needs some big time wins.
They do. So. They really do. And so this is a big game there for them, especially at Florida. It really bumps up their stock there. Iowa State and West Virginia going at it. Man, 6.5 point favorites for Iowa State, 137.5, 137 in your over under. Look, team I did not expect this year to be competitive is West Virginia.
Right.
And I've actually, they haven't, won all their games or anything like that. They've been competitive. They looked actually a lot better than I thought they have. I figured the first game against KU of Big 12 play was one thing, but they've been in these games for sure for that. So, and it's at West Virginia. I anticipate Iowa State to struggle a little bit. And this might be more of an in-game bet for me than anything. Waiting for the live, see how the trend goes. But what's your thoughts here?
I think this could be the game of the day because Iowa State's a top tier team. Like you mentioned, West Virginia's kind of been one of the surprise teams in the Big 12 this year. I think this could be a really, really good game between two pretty good teams. I still think Iowa State's going to win because I think they're just on another level right now. But I mean, we talked about it this week, Tanner. Iowa State's been making history left and right the last couple of years. Now, the first time that they've started 5-0 in conference play since the 40s, since Scott was in elementary school. It's crazy to even think about.
I mean, they've had a hell of a year, right?
It's been a hell of a year in all
football,
for Iowa State this year.
Football, they did really well. They're killing it in basketball already. Like they're
first time they've ever won 10 games in college football.
Yeah, it's been an impressive year for them, and they could capitalize it off here with a great run in the tournament when it comes time. I think they're going to be in this thing. So, yeah,
they could be one of the sleeper Final Four teams this year.
It could. They really could.
I was just about to say that they're a Final Four team.
Yeah,
but they have a major home advantage. They play really well at home. On the road, they struggle a little bit. So I'm going to say West Virginia covers it. I think Iowa State wins, but I think West Virginia is going to cover the 6.5. So
that's fair. We'll keep her moving here. 5 p.m. Central mark here now. Arkansas, Missouri at Missouri. Minus 5.5 point favorites for Missouri. Over under 149.5. Arkansas, I think they're 0-5 in conference.
I don't like the way Calipari, the last press conference, looks disinterested right now. I
honestly think Calipari will maybe this year should say, getting the dry run in, but I think he's going to go get his guys this after the season's done. So
they're a fringe tournament team, or they could be a fringe tournament team. They got to stop losing conference games.
But they got to stop losing, man.
Yeah,
Missouri, you're not playing a bum team. Missouri, they've actually played really well this year.
Agreed.
I mean, we just mentioned it earlier. This is the team that just upset Florida not too long ago. This Missouri.
Yeah.
Team, so.
Yeah. So I like Missouri. I think Missouri wins the game.
I think Missouri, has a good chance if they continue to play like they are. I think Missouri has a good chance to get a higher seed in the tournament. I think they could be a single-digit seed going into the tournament this year.
Okay. I wouldn't mind actually seeing that because that'd be good for this area here, especially if we got to play them again. That's for sure. Just kind of go down the way here. Duke and BC are playing. Scott, how do you feel about that 23-point dog of BC?
Give me Duke.
LSU and the Aggies are going out today as well this evening. 11.5 point favorites for the Ags. Over under 143.5, 144. Personally, for me, I'm looking more of a total in this game than I am looking at a spread. around it. But what are you guys thinking here? Anything big on this game?
I'm with you. I'm looking at the total at 2-2 and 1-3 in conference. LSU's 1-3 in conference.
Yeah.
Texas A&M 2-2.
I expected both teams to be a little better.
I'm
not saying they had to be great.
11.5 is a lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
That Texas A&M though. So
yeah.
I would lean toward the total being.
I like the over.
Yeah, I like the over too.
Yeah.
I do.
Kind of there.
I actually like the -11.5 because I think Texas A&M is gonna play very well tonight. So
gotcha. So there's not much really after this game. Oregon State and San Francisco going at it. -3.5 point favorites there for San Francisco. And didn't Oregon State just beat Gonzaga?
Yes, they did.
Is that correct? Is that correct? Hey, that's momentum. That's what we call momentum. Meanwhile, Gonzaga also now has to play Santa Clara, and they're 15-point favorites in that game tonight here. Look, I don't know how much I'm trusting the Zags to cover spreads. First off, even win games. I'm a little worried about these guys. I think Santa Clara, if they can get hot, from deep here, I think it might be a closer game than what we're anticipating.
Yeah. I'll give you a team to watch for in college basketball coming down the stretch here. Ole Miss.
Yes.
Just beat Alabama. Chris Beard's the coach. He's a really good coach, one of the best coaches in the country.
Yeah.
Ole Miss could be a surprise Sweet 16, Elite 8 team in the tournament this year.
Hey, speaking of which, here around the 5 o'clock hour Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern, Ole Miss, Mississippi State at Mississippi State, 5.5 point favorites for Mississippi State in this matchup here. I mean, that's a possibility where you go out and just bet the money line and ride with the Ole Miss because Ole Miss, Alabama. I forgot about that game.
Yeah, the one thing I would say about that game is how did Ole Miss look at that game? Did it look at, all right, let's just go in and play hard and hopefully we come up with a win? Or did they put the whole bucket into winning that game and then come down off of that win with a tough loss? I don't think Chris Beard will allow it because he's a good coach. I just think watch them in the SEC tournament, watch them in the NCAA tournament. They're going to be really sneaky. They'll be a tough out. So I'll take Ole Miss tonight. I think Ole Miss wins the game.
I think you got to ride with it. So,
yeah.
But you, Alan?
Yeah, I'm on the Ole Miss bandwagon right now. They played phenomenal the last few weeks, so I'm going to take Ole Miss too.
That's fair. That's fair there. That kind of wraps up the college basketball slate. Look, if you want your hockey plays, go on X, go follow at Norton's, NORTONZ bets at BETZ. He's kind of waiting right now. He kind of posted this morning. He's waiting on more of the goalie announcements to not force anything. This guy's smart. He has a good system, and he hits well. So if you want your hockey plays, go follow him. He should be posting. What are we at? 12:15. So probably another hour and a half. We should get these announcements going. The only thing he sees clear right now is Keen money line. Hey, I'll take the Keen's money line on that one, guys. Any other bets out there for the day that you guys are liking?
I like the Ottawa money line against the Bruins. I like the Ottawa money line. Bruins have been awful. They've been awful. I mean, these are two evenly matched teams. The puck line is Ottawa minus Bruins minus 1.5. They don't deserve to be minus 1.5 against anybody. So
no, they don't. The way they're playing,
they're playing awful right now. Awful. So
give you one final score update here as we got some of the noon games have kicked off. Second half, Kentucky leads 50-49. They've that game just started in the second half. Central Florida is now 38-37. Houston's come back and closed that gap. Creighton leads 41-39. Florida State had a double-digit lead at halftime. It's now 39-34 against Georgia Tech. Louisville 49-31 over Virginia right now. Clemson 52-39 over Pitt. Army by 20. 45-25 over Boston University.
Keep bumping that straight up. I need 15 or 14.5. Come on, let's go.
George Washington over George Mason right now, 34-29. Auburn out to a 16-7 lead over Georgia to start off. Kansas 14-0 over Kansas State.
Holy moly! What the heck?
We scored points.
14-0 over Kansas State to start that game.
I told you guys, K-State stinks, and yeah.
American and Holy Cross 9-8 there. Colgate leading 23-12. Wagner leading Mercyhurst 12-9. Maine up on UMBC 19-7. Detroit Mercy over Oakland 13-9. Citadel leading 11-8 against VMI. And then the final game, Buffalo leading Western Michigan 23-17.
Tanner, who threw the touchdowns for Kansas? It was 14-0 already.
That would be Daniels. So
Jalen Daniels.
So when Texans win, how mad are you going to be, Tanner?
Texans.
That's how mad I'm going to be.
This comes good for the guy that just predicted the Chiefs to win 32-20. 28.
I am fairly confident the Chiefs are going to beat the Texans today. I'm about 99.9% confident.
Oh, yeah. Trey Wingo, I got a text from one of my guys, my friends here. The numbers just don't add up against the Texans and Chiefs.
Divisional playoffs are here. Let's start it with the Chiefs and the Texans, and these are just the numbers. So the Chiefs are the number 1 seed. Patrick Mahomes is your starting quarterback. The Chiefs have never lost a divisional round game with Patrick Mahomes 6-0. That's the best all-time in NFL history in divisional play. His completion percentage is 70.4% in divisional play. That's the best in NFL history. He has 13 touchdown passes against 0 interceptions. That's the best ratio in divisional round play in NFL history. He has 16 total touchdowns and no giveaways. That's the best ratio in NFL history in the divisional round. And his passer rating is 115.8. That's the best divisional passer rate in NFL history. The Chiefs have Andy Reid as their head coach. With a bye, he's 32-7, including postseason, the best winning percentage in NFL history. Patrick Mahomes with at least 10 days rest is 21-4 as a starting quarterback. That is the best record in NFL history. The Texans have never won a road playoff game and were 1-5 in the regular season against playoff teams this year. You do the math.
Okay. Legendary Trey Wingo, right there. Go follow him on X there. But yeah, numbers don't lie half the time, right? So
yeah. Sam, I hate to burst your bubble. Kansas City will be hosting the AFC Championship game next week.
I'll be wearing this hat on our show.
By the way, Houston and UConn just both took leads respectively in their games. So,
ooh, comebacks. Good.
No, we don't care about those games. We want points in the Kentucky game. Just keep scoring. Keep going. Go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting out of here, guys. Hey, enjoy your divisional ball today in playoffs. Enjoy your college basketball.
No, I know the Patriots are playing at some point today. I just don't know.
Yeah. Just keep waiting.
Find the program.
Just keep waiting, guys.
They just got to buy tickets, Scott. They just got to buy tickets.
There was a Madden sim live between the Chiefs and Texans game that Mike ended up watching, and Texans won on a 60-yard pass interference call with a game-winning field goal. So the script's in, baby. The script's in here. As we get into it here, hey, this is all day. Hopefully, I'm a chipper mood tomorrow. Let's get at it. Everybody, make sure you like, subscribe,
Florida
follow.
State is doing well today.
Go Chiefs!